evening friends. So in this video we will discussing about the second phylum of our animal kingdom chapter, and our second phylum is the Coelenterata or Cnidaria. So in this video we will discuss the specific characteristics of the Coelenterata or Cnidaria phylum. So these coelenterates, they are usually aquatic organisms and they are mostly found in marine habitat. So coelenterates or cnidarians, they are aquatic and they are found in marine habitat. Now further, they can be sessile, that means they are attached to some substratum, or they can be free living. Further, the second characteristic point of these cnidarians is that they shows radial symmetry. We have already discussed this radial symmetry, and they have tissue level of body organization. That means their body organization is of tissue level, and they are diploblastic. That means their embryo have two layers. Now, the third characteristic of this cnidarians is they contains a central gastrointestinal cavity, or they have a central gastrovascular cavity in the form of digestive system, and this gastrovascular cavity contains a single opening, and this single opening, it is present in the form of the mouth, and this mouth is present on hypostome. Now if we discuss the digestion, these cnidarians, they shows both type of digestion, that is they can be extracellular in their digestion or they can be intracellular digestion. That means both type of digestion is found in cnidarians. They can show the extracellular digestion or intracellular digestion. Now there are some cnidarians such as corals. In corals, they have their skeleton, and their skeleton is made up of calcium carbonate. So their skeleton is made up of calcium carbonate. Now further, this shows two basic body forms. These coelenterates, they shows two basic body forms. The one is known as polyp and the other is known as medusa. This polyp, it is usually cylindrical shaped body, and it is shown by Hydra and Admesia. So both these organisms have polyp shaped body or polyform body. The second is medusa, or in plural we say medusae, and it is shown by jellyfish, that is Aurelia. And there are certain cnidarians or coelenterates which have both types of the body forms, that is both polyp and medusae. And the cnidarians which have both types of body forms, this shows the alternations of generation. Means alternations of generation means that is they shows metagenesis. This shows the process of metagenesis. And in metagenesis, the polyp forms the medusae through asexual reproduction, whereas the medusae forms the polyp through sexual reproduction process. And the example of the cnidarian which shows the both body forms, that is Obelia. Now the other examples of coelenterate or cnidaria includes the Gorgonia, the Metrina, the Admesia, Pennatula, and Physalia. So all these are the examples of cnidarian phylum. Now, the third kingdom of animal, or third phylum of animal kingdom is Cynopora. So now we will discuss the general characteristics of third phylum of our animal kingdom, that is Cynopora. So these Cynopora, they are also known as the sea walnuts or comb jellies, because they have 8 rows of comb plates on their body. That's why they are known as sea walnuts or comb jelly. Further, these Cynopora, they are usually aquatic and they are found in marine habitat. So mostly they are marine in habitat, and they shows radial symmetry. So their body symmetry is radial type, and they have two embryonic membranes, and that's why they are diploblastic. Further, they have the tissue level of body organization. So these Cynopora, they are usually marine in habitat. This shows radial symmetry. They are diploblastic and have tissue level of body organization, and they are also known as walnuts or comb jellies. Further, their body contains some external 8 rows of ciliated comb plates. So, on their body, on external part of their body, they contains 8 rows of ciliated comb plates, and these comb plates, they helps in their locomotion and movement. Further, in case of Cynopora, they shows the both type of digestions. That is, they have intracellular digestion as well as they have the extracellular digestion. Now, the most important property of Cynopora or the organism belonging to the Cynopora phylum is that this shows the property of bioluminescence. Bioluminescence is the property in which an organism emits light. So it is the property of emitting light by organism, and that is known as the bioluminescence. Further, in case of Cynopora, the sexes are not separate. The sexes are not separate. That's why the organism belonging to Cynopora, they reproduce only through the sexual reproduction. They carry out only sexual reproduction, and during sexual reproduction, they shows external fertilization with indirect development. The examples of the organism belonging to Cynopora includes the Pleurobrachia and the Cynoplana. So these are the two examples, that is Pleurobrachia and Cynoplana. So our next phylum is Platyhelminths. That is fourth phylum of our animal kingdom. And these Platyhelminths, they are also known as flatworms. Platyhelminths, they are also known as flatworms because they have dorso-ventrally flattened body. These Platyhelminths, they have dorso-ventrally flattened body. That's why they are known as flatworms. Now further, these organisms belonging to the Platyhelminths, they are usually endoparasites, and they are found in animals including the human beings. These organisms which belongs to Platyhelminths, they shows the bilateral symmetry. That means their body can be divided into two equal halves, and they have triploblastic body. That is, they have 3 membranes in their embryonic stages. Further, they are acoelomates. That means the body cavity is absent in these organisms, and they shows the organ level of body organization. So they have a little more complex body organization than earlier phylums. In earlier phylums we have studied they have that organism having tissue level of body organization, but Platyhelminths have the organ level of body organization, which is a further more complex body organization. And the parasitic forms of these Platyhelminths, they contain suckers and hooks. The parasitic forms contains the hooks and suckers, and these hooks and suckers, they helps them in holding their host to themselves. Further, the parasitic forms, they also absorb nutrients directly from the body surface of host. So parasitic forms, they absorb nutrients directly from the surface of host body, and these organisms belonging to the Platyhelminths, they contain a special type of cells which are known as flame cells, and these flame cells helps in the osmoregulation and in excretion process. So flame cells helps in excretion as well as in osmoregulation. The organism of Platyhelminths, they do not have separate sexes, and they carry out sexual reproduction with internal fertilization, and development after fertilization occurs through several larval stages. Now, some of the organism which belongs to Platyhelminths, this shows a high regeneration property, and the example of the Platyhelminths that shows the regeneration property is our planaria. This planaria, in case of planaria, this regeneration, it is also a type of asexual reproduction. Further, the examples of these Platyhelminths, they include the taenia and the fasciola. Taenia is our tapeworm. This is our tapeworm. Whereas fasciola is our liver fluke. So these are the two examples of the organism belonging to platyhelminths. Thank you, students.